given that job after yesterday's fiasco at Leicester, I will never know. But away we go then. Manchester United a kick-off. Liverpool in white, attacking the Stretford end. The Jamie Clark YouTube channel back for business. This is a real opportunity. 6 times champions of Europe against the 3 times previous champions of Europe. It's some proposition, this. Manchester United are the underdogs. There's no doubt about that. Liverpool still with their 100% record very much intact. This is a big test to see who will come out on top here at Old Trafford this afternoon. Liverpool, as I say, in white shirts, and the first header away is by Virgil van Dijk to halfway here. Of course, we'll have more commentary coming your way tomorrow evening, I should say, when we bring you Sheffield United and Arsenal. That will be with Russ Vernon at 7:45 tomorrow evening. Hope you can join us both for that one, as the boys not back to Alisson, making his first appearance in the Liverpool goal since the game we covered at the start of the season against Norwich, incidentally, as McTominay battles with Wijnaldum in midfield. Almost comes out on top. In fact, he has done. He's trying to find Wan-Bissaka on the near side. A little bit of a battle ensues. Now the ball is spread out, or trying to be spread out, by Andrew Robertson. It's out for a throw-in. JB Court YouTube channel from Old Trafford, and it's Wan-Bissaka to take the throw-in for Manchester United. 0-0. I had a drama in the Premier League yesterday, and there were sad scenes at Haringey Borough, just to go off the Premier League topic, in the FA Cup, and they were forced off the field due to some racist abuse. I hope we don't get it at Old Trafford today on the biggest crowd of the weekend. Here's Rashford on the far side. He's got James in support, and in the end, the crossing from the left-hand side wasn't a pearler. Now Divock Origi trying to stretch his legs, and he's done really well there against Lindelof, but Lindelof snaps back at him, and still Origi keeps possession, albeit illegally. Referee Atkinson saying that he tugged the Manchester United defender's shirt as he marauded down the left-hand side, and a free kick it is to Manchester United on their right-hand side. Remember, Liverpool attacking the Stretford end in the first half. United, of course, like to attack that end in the second half of games. But it's going to be a game of cat and mouse. It's not often that Manchester United are the underdogs in a game like this, of this importance, at their own ground. It's usually they're the favourites, if Premier League history dictates. But at the moment, Liverpool, the way they're playing, they have to be tagged as favourites, the way that they're playing at the moment. As the ball is chipped into the penalty area, well dealt with there by Tanatsubi, and he gets the ball away, but now Van Dijk picks it up inside the centre circle, still inside his own half, picks out Robertson now daring to dream, daring to go forward, gets a little bit of a lucky ricochet. Robertson, £7 million he cost Liverpool from Hull City 2 years ago, and what a £7 million investment it's proved to be. 3 minutes gone. If you just joined us, it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 in the Premier League. The big news is Mo Salah is not in the game for injury, but Alisson does return. There was fitness doubts about David De Gea, but he's got through it. He's got through okay, and he's passed the fitness test, and he's okay to play at the moment. Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0 in at Old Trafford. If you join us this afternoon. And of course you can replay his back, of course, as the long ball forward looking towards Divock Origi, and here's Origi again, number 27, trying to take on Lindelof. That could be a feature. Origi goes down. The referee was not 10 yards away. Felt that Origi, and I must admit from my first impressions that Origi just went down a little bit too easily there, and I think the referee was correct in making that decision. And with the focus on some of the questionable VAR calls today, the officials will be under even more scrutiny. So a little bit of pressure perhaps on referee Martin Atkinson, really, because this is a big game. He's not had to travel too far. West Yorkshire, in actual fact, just a short 25-mile hop down the M62. As the ball is spread out towards the right hand side here, deep inside the Liverpool territory, it's Wan-Bissaka, the £40 million man they got from Crystal Palace. Now back inside, James knocking it back again. McTominay to Wan-Bissaka now, James on the right. Good triangle passes down this right-hand channel from Manchester United. McTominay now a bit further infield, but a poor ball there, which was well intercepted, but then given away now to Pereira. Pereira now to Wan-Bissaka. Back to Pereira again. Right-hand touchline. Gets the crossing. Little deflection. Still might come for Manchester United. The ball across the face of goal. Now Rollo up against Marnie. Gets the cross in, and it didn't deflect off Marnie, so it is a goal kick to Liverpool. 5 minutes gone here at Old Trafford, and it's 0-0 here. This is audio commentary, and from Old Trafford. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Michael Carrick there. Came through the ranks, believe it or not, at West Ham, and he's a Geordie by birth. Michael Carrick, as the ball is knocked back to David De Gea. Neither goalkeeper yet to make a save yet in the opening 5 1/4 minutes that we've been 5 3/4 minutes now, I should say, that we've been playing. And De Gea has possession and just kicks the ball right-footed up towards the far side. And now a header one again, and out of play it goes to a throw-in. To give you the two linesmen, Mr. Betts is on the far side, Mr. Hadarakis is on the near. And as I say, referees, or the fourth official was the cock-up ref at Leicester yesterday, which denied my team a priceless point, and that was John Moss. How was he still a referee or a fourth official even, after his shambolic display yesterday? Beggars belief. Anyway, enough about my personal opinions. It's all about these two teams out on the field. It's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. That's the big event we're covering here this afternoon live on the JB Clark YouTube channel. And Rashford with foul, free kick to Manchester United. Just shy of halfway here with 6.5 minutes almost. Well over 6.5 minutes gone. Ticking round to 7 minutes here. If you've joined us late, the big news is that Mo Salah is not in the team. As well, I see Alex Ferguson there, Sir Alex, I should say, still an ambassador for Manchester United and a director at the club in the same, and he deserves to be in the same breath as a Matt Busby or a Bobby Charlton, a real Manchester United legend. As Wan-Bissaka crosses into the penalty area, turned away there by Joel Matip, and now Lindelof picks up the loose ball on halfway, picks out Fred, who's not had the best of starts to his Manchester United career. Young now tries to get United moving down the left, but he hits it against one of the Liverpool defenders. It might have been Trent Alexander-Arnold, and it's out of play for a throw-in to Manchester United, about halfway inside the Liverpool half on their left-hand side, or the right-hand, the left-hand side, as we look. And that's the far side here at Old Trafford. 0-0 here. Big game this. Manchester United and Liverpool. First time we've ever covered these two teams together on the YouTube channel. So this is another JB Claret first here in terms of live commentaries. The first ever time we've covered these two teams together live for you, as the ball hooked back across into the penalty area, and it will be a throw into Manchester United, conceded there by Matip. Pereira got in just behind the defenders down the right hand channel, and it was really well cut out. Panini's on, good afternoon, and good afternoon to Russ and Amandeep Singh or Sidhu. Good afternoon to you, my friend. Comment section, of course, we'll have JB Man of the Match a little later on in the programme in the second half, and of course Russ will be on commentary duty tomorrow evening. I'll keep reminding him about this afternoon, so he stops me reminding him by text message later on tomorrow, because I want a day of rest before hitting the air. That he will be travelling just a couple of miles up the road from his own house to Bramall Lane to bring you commentary of Sheffield United against Arsenal tomorrow night. Kick-off for that one, 8 o'clock. Anyway, back to today, and it's a free kick to Manchester United. 0-0, and it's going to be Pereira to swing it in right-footed from the right-hand side. Well defended brilliantly there by Virgil van Dijk. He got back there and he did a terrific sweeping up of the thing, and then a foul there by Pereira. And in fact, I think it might have been Robertson who got there. We've got a very, very long-range vantage point. Yes, it was Andy Robertson there. Did the Scottish international a little bit of disservice there. And of course, there's no Paul Pogba in the United side. You'd be interested to know. Anyway, here's a chance now for Liverpool. And, oh, dear me, it was Bobby Firmino trying to shoot from a very acute angle in the left as he cut in the left-hand side of the penalty area. It was a really good bit of play here. Good turn. and unfortunately I think it might have been better advice to knock it across the face, maybe into the 6-yard box, where Marnie was running like an express train to get on the end of that, but sadly it wasn't meant to be. So we're coming up towards 10 minutes of the first half. God, it's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. A game that's just taken a little bit of, excuse me, a game that's just taken a little bit of a while to get going, but now it's looking good again. And both teams now having 1 or 2 opportunities. And yeah. Sky Bet Championship. It's not, it's the Premier League, mate. And yes. And yeah, he remembers those games very well. And be nice to talk about the games this week and not racial abuse. It's actually nice. That's why it was a refreshing. But the scenes we saw in the Cup yesterday at Haringey Borough was disgraceful, to say the least. If you haven't seen it, I suggest you look at it, because it wasn't very pleasant. A lot of the coloured players were being abused and spat at. It was just terrible. That really just puts everything that happened yesterday in perspective. But they are very much under the spotlight again. And I have to be honest, as we just break off for a second, because here's Daniel James breaking for Manchester United. In fact, it was Pereira's shot, sorry, and it was well fielded by Allison, who's back in goal for the first time since August, since the opening night of the season, when he when he picked up an injury playing for Liverpool against Norwich on opening night. Liverpool went on to win, I think it was 5-1 that night. It was our first Premier League live game of the season. And over 2.5 months gone, he's now fit and 100% fit and ready to go. And here is a long ball forward by Marnie, or Origi on the near side, and the ball flicked on again. Now Robertson picks it up on the left hand side. A little bit of tangle there between Pereira and Van Dijk, and Pereira's pulling Van Dijk, and referee Atkinson swiftly across there. Despite him being in his late 40s there, Martin Atkinson, he's still fit enough to keep up with the play, and fair play to the Yorkshire referee, did really well there. Now the ball out to the far side, and Alexander-Arnold back inside once again. Well, Rusty's fancying a Liverpool victory this afternoon, as the Reds now, or the team in white, I should say, in their change strip, nicknamed the Reds, of course. Back in field again, Ronaldo taking it on brilliantly, and Fabinho there too, the shot coming in, and well held there. It was Fabinho with the shot in the end. Good turn again by the Brazilian here. Turns away, and had to turn away from another defender. I think it was Fred, and then guts his right shot in. It was a bit tame in the end. In fact, it was Ronaldo, and I was right first time. It was a very good turn by the Dutchman, and just for a moment then he was shaping up to shoot then, and it was a really good bit of play then. It's still 0-0. And as United now have possession once again. Now won back by Liverpool, and this is again a good bit of play again as Origi gets the possession. He's always stepped in and done well, Divock Origi, certainly in the last sort of this calendar year. Remember that never to be forgotten semi-final against Barcelona. What a semi-final second leg we covered there. It was one of the best commentary nights in the 3.5 years of doing this, and it was down to the quick finger of Trent Alexander-Arnold, if you remember. And here he is cutting in, and Wijnaldum's on the edge of the area. Gini Wijnaldum to Divock Origi, left hand side. Origi looks to get the cross in. It's turned away, and it's a bit up and under-ish, but the goalkeeper's kept it in play, and he did remarkably well. So 0-0 is the score, and it's some game here. I have to be honest, I'm very impressed by the way that both teams have gone about it. Should be a cracking little game, this, as the ball is spreaded out to the far side, but the ball out of play. And well, when we go to Solskjaer's bus is really on the verge of explosion if they end up being in the relegation zone, because if it stay, because they're right on the edge of the relegation zone, so if they were to lose today, tonight to be, in fact, it's Royo who starts, so tonight to be was injured in the warm-up, so that's why we're not got tonight to be on the field. So I just wanted to make that clear. So as things stand at the table, as Wijnaldum comes forward, if Manchester United, I think they would be 1 point off being in the relegation zone. That's the size of the problem that faces Manchester United at the moment. So the ball come charging forward again. So yes, Phil Jones on the bench, yes. Yes, so yes, indeed, as a ball now play forward. So that's a B is actually, I need to actually cut that out, so we'll cross that out at half time and try and wing it now until half time. My notes were done in haste and I had no idea that Tuanatsabi was injured in the warm-up, but Royo's a very good player, experienced player, should do a job. Been at United now a good few years, 4 or 5 seasons in fact to be exact, as the ball's chipped over towards the far side and it's kept in by the head of Ashley Young on the Manchester United left, and then the ball hooked away by Liverpool. Still 0-0 here at Old Trafford, 16.5 minutes played, and at the moment it's been a tough baptism of fire at the moment. Liverpool is still the one remaining 100% record on the line going into this game. Here's James and Pereira trying to backheel it into the danger zone, but he was too close to Alisson, who takes the ball again under no great pressure as Liverpool come charging forward now. Jordan Henderson, the England captain, or rather the Liverpool captain, England vice captain I should say, and he's up and Alisson's up and under kick is not a very good one, it has to be said, but it's broken kindly here to Firmino. He's got Mane away on the far side, but he needs support. Firmino is making a run into the centre. Origi's there further on the left. Still Mane, still looking for support. He's trying to hold it up. How long he can hold it up with 2 Man United defenders there? That's the question. Alexander-Arnold is offering some support, but he's a bit too further back maybe, but he's gone back now. Manchester United have been impressed, and apparently Absolutely Anonymous has got no nails. I'd like to see a screenshot of that. Only kidding. Anyway, 0-0. If you've joined us late, no Mo Salah for Liverpool and no Paul Pogba for Manchester United. This is Robertson now for Liverpool on their left hand side. Back in field to Virgil van Dijk. Van Dijk back towards Andy Robertson once again. Origi now leads the charge. Finds Van Dijk on halfway. Finds then Joe Matip. Matip now calmly out towards the far side, and here's Trent Alexander-Arnold, a local lad. All his dreams came true when his side won the European Cup. When Liverpool won the European Cup, he achieved a lifelong ambition. And now he wants to achieve another one with Liverpool, win the league. They haven't won the league for 30 years now, as Robertson puts that ball in, and Harry Maguire does well, but here's Robertson again, down the left. Origi offers him an outlet, and he gets a good cross in there, too high for Mane, and Mane did go down, but there wasn't any great protests for a penalty, or potential penalty there, and Manchester United survive for the moment anyway. Liverpool do get a throw in, however. So as things stand, Liverpool would be on 25 points. And, well, here come Liverpool once again. The ball chipped into the area. Well, for a Manchester City fan, this is catch-22. You want Manchester United to win somehow, so you keep the title race alive, but then again, you want to see your rivals lose. It's a catch-22 situation for a Manchester City fan. As Wijnaldum comes forward into the centre circle, and he finds Jordan Henderson. Both teams are terrific, Liverpool have been terrific. There's no doubt about that. United have been very much below par. I've seen them a few times this season, and the points they've picked up, some of them I think they've been lucky to pick up. Others not so sure. But here's Robertson again down the left hand side. First time cross looking towards Mane. Firmino was also on the edge of the Manchester United penalty box. We've had 20 minutes exactly of the first half. It's Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0. No Pogba and no Salah in the respective lineups for Liverpool or Manchester United, but still not a bad match so far to watch as Rashford tangles with Van Dijk now as Pereira goes in field. Pereira gets the shot in and deflects away for a corner to Manchester United. Rock and Roll Star says he's happy for City to win nothing and United to get relegated this season. Well, I'm sure you want success for Manchester City. I mean, the European Cup's the holy grail for Man City at the moment. Although they had a terrific victory at Crystal Palace yesterday by 2-0. Meanwhile, here today, remember Sheffield United, Arsenal to come tomorrow, and that will be with Russ in the commentary box and me in the presenter's chair in the studio. As the corner will come in now, Harry Maguire is over this, is behind it as well. He's inside the area. Alisson opting to punch through the crowd, and then Origi hits it into the stratosphere, and it's back down again. But now it's come again for Liverpool, and here comes Trent Alexander-Arnold at left back at the moment, as Henderson gets the ball midway inside his own half. Mike Harniman says Liverpool have been fortunate in games too. Take Sheffield United for example. They were fortunate to win that. Need United to win this. So, well, he does make a good point about Sheffield United. Sheffield United should have won that match at Bramall Lane the other week. They were terrific value, even though they lost 1-0. They should have come away with more than nothing from that game, Liverpool. But then you could cantilever that argument. Sometimes you don't have to play well to win games, and that's probably the sign sometimes of true champions. Halfway through the first half then at Old Trafford. United 0, Liverpool 0. And there's Paul Pogba, who would love to be out there today. £89 million. Hasn't really lived up to his price tag in the 2.5 seasons he's been back at Old Trafford after his move from Juventus. And really, if he wants to stay in with a shout at Old Trafford, I think he really needs to. Pull. I think he really needs to pull his finger out and start playing better. Some of these United players are very much social media friendly, and but as Rashford said, when United had another bad result, Wolves had 2 shots on target and won. Liverpool have been fortunate in some games, but so were United under Fergie, sign of potential champions. Well, it's a bit I think, let's just make, I just think, I'm going to sort of referee this now. I think it's very early to say that Liverpool are champions electors. United almost make a mess of that free kick, and Maguire manages to get the ball out to the far near side, and Wan-Bissaka, who tried to play the ball in towards Daniel James there, scored on his debut against Chelsea, so he's a man for the big occasions, the man they bought from Swansea. A lot of eyebrows were raised when Ole Gunnar Solskjaer raided Swansea for him. He's probably one of their shining lights, although he does tend to border on the edge of a Cristiano Ronaldo, a trait of Cristiano Ronaldo's at Old Trafford, and dive to win decisions as the ball is in towards Firmino inside the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka, that was coolly done back to his goalkeeper inside his own 6-yard area, and well played there from the former Crystal Palace man. 24 gone, still goalless, but the game now starting to come to the boil as everyone hoped it would be here at Old Trafford today. McTominay now for Manchester United, and Ed Woodward defended Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, saying that we want to see Manchester United play that swashbuckling attacking football that we sing down the years, as that's our value of Manchester United, and accused other managers of being very negative in the way that they would But then again, if he'd have got the right players for Mourinho, would Manchester United be where they are now? There are questions to be asked of Ed Woodward at the moment, how the way he's running the show at Manchester United. Yes, he's making the club profit, but it's not helping on the field. But here's McTominay, who might be able to profit on the field with his 25-yard right-footed shot, but it's straight into the arms of Alisson, who really had no problems in fielding that, no problem. It was tamely hit, but it was a good bold run there by Scott McTominay, one of the youngsters that have come through the ranks at the Manchester United Academy, and he did really well. They let one really good player go in Dwight McNeil, of course, and Burnley have benefited from his emergence. Gareth Southgate and Steve Holland. Well, nobody has accused it. Nobody. Well, he's had to put up with them two. Have had to put up with a lot with the England side in the last week or so, and you know what I'm talking about there, with all the problems that England had in Bulgaria on Monday. It was sad to see, but having said all that, at least now they can just settle down and watch some football and take a look at people like Trent Alexander-Arnold, people like Marcus Rashford, people like Jordan Henderson. So many England players out there on the field today as Rashford darts into the penalty area, tries to pull it back to Daniel James, and in the end it was a poor ball across, a poor cut back, and in the end it was an easy one there for Alisson just to pick up with a minimum of fuss. But there we are, Rashford, first time we've seen him explode, and shows the value of him there as out comes Alisson to kick away under pressure from one of the United attackers. There's a couple of players gone down over on the far side. Rashford he's a Manchester United fan, and Alisson was put under pressure by him. United brings around this famous old ground. 76,000 here, the biggest gate of the weekend across the English football spectrum. Biggest gate in England this weekend, and that was surely a wrestling match there involving one of the Liverpool players. James was the man down. Now he does have a bit of a reputation at the moment, and on one-to-one of being a little bit of a play actor. Daniel James, just real trait in his game, and I don't like to see that in professional footballers. I like to see them play fair, and I didn't think Johnny Evans did himself any favours yesterday in that nonsense at Leicester, when Burnley should have had a perfectly good goal disallowed. So far, we haven't had a controversial decision to hear from the referee Martin Atkinson, or the VAR referee for that matter. Here's Wan-Bissaka down the right-hand side. Now the game's starting to hot up. Wan-Bissaka into the penalty area, crosses in, but it comes to McTominay. Brought very kindly to Scott McTominay under no great pressure. Wan-Bissaka into the penalty area, and a real opportunity then for Daniel James, and it was knocked away from the edge of the 6-yard line by Virgil van Dijk. A great move there from Manchester United. Really was a first-class move. We haven't seen much of that during the season, but that was what Manchester United can do, and on the big occasions they know they can play. But at the moment they are being held here by Liverpool. But it's Manchester United now making the run in here, and they attack the Liverpool goal. Long ball from the left-hand side, and Alisson under pressure again. Rashford was diving in there like an express train to get on the end of that, but it was a wicked ball in from Wan-Bissaka, and James almost got on the end of that. A real opportunity there for Manchester United, and it just wasn't meant to be. Liverpool now looking to launch an attack in their own. A long ball trying to search out Divock Origi, who's worked an absolute miracle to keep it in, although he's lost it there to Wan-Bissaka. But it shows the commitments of both sides at the moment. They know that 3 points is at stake, and there's more than 3 points at stake. If United win, Pep Guardiola across the city in Manchester will be rubbing his hands with glee. And well, as the ball comes into the area, if Liverpool win, then Jurgen Klopp will be looking down very, very smugly, I would have thought. The charismatic German manager. He's won the German equivalent of the Premier League, the Bundesliga, in 2012 with Borussia Dortmund. I don't want to get too much into this, but Leicester fans seem to think that was a foul. Not sure how tripping yourself up by kicking, tripping yourself up gets you that free kick. Well, the Leicester fans are going to say that, Mike. I would have expected that, but in my opinion, it still angers me, mate. It still angers me from yesterday. And John Moss, incidentally, as a side note, this is the fourth official. How he's allowed to be a fourth official or even be on the referee teams, I'll never know. After that shoddy display, he should be fired for what he did. Anyway, back to the game, and it's still 0-0. Coming up towards half an hour gone. If you've joined us late, and Martin Atkinson's got a potential decision here to make. Herrera claiming that he was elbowed. There was an elbow thrown here by Jordan Henderson. No, there was no elbow. He was across Young's face. He only had eyes for the ball there, Henderson. I think Pereira's making a bit more of a drama of a crisis out of it, and Young's gone down a little bit cheaply for me. I mean, Henderson's hardly touched him. It's a brush more than anything else, and I think Ashley Young has milked that far, far too much. Far, far too much. However, they've got the free kick, Manchester United, although I think they are very lucky to have that free kick. Ashley Young there, I'm sorry, but we don't want to see cheating. I mean, Henderson's brushed him, but it's not a free kick. Young has play acted to get that free kick. It was a joke decision. Anyway, back to the game. At least we're talking about football and not about any other subject. Did you see my little promo this morning? Well, if you want non-Brexit talks, then great. Straight out to Stevenage there. Well done, Ashley. Doing Stevenage proud here. And the flag is up for offside, incidentally. The linesman on the far side, Hadazakis, is straight away. Let's have a look. Yeah, the linesman on the near side was correct. Definitely offside as the ball was played. And, we'll just have to see how this really pans out. Liverpool win. The gap increases again. But the gap will stay the same if Manchester United win, and they'll improve their own situation a little bit as well by winning their match. At the moment, they're still marooned in the bottom half of the table, as Jurgen Klopp looks on a little bit frustrated with life at the moment. But this is never going to be an easy match for Manchester United. Nottingham home for Sundays, as Mike Phelan has a chat with Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And Phelan making his point vehemently clear to the Manchester United right back. But we're now 32 and almost a half minutes into the first half here. We're inside the final quarter hour of the first half. And it's still Manchester United 0, Liverpool 0, another offside flag given. And we're getting one or two offsides now. This game's becoming to be a little bit sloppy now as far as the attack mindedness is concerned. And the ball now back with David De Gea. Fitness doubts about him and Paul Pogba. Pogba didn't make it, but De Gea certainly did, and he's got Manchester United on their way again. This is Marcus Rashford. Takes on Matip, and then I felt he wrestled Matip to the floor then. And in fact, the referee's giving it the other way. I think he's giving it to Manchester United. I felt that Matip was thrown to the ground. I think it should have been a free kick to Liverpool, but Martin Atkinson deciding to side with 70,000 others, and he's given the free kick. Or has he? No, he's given a throw-in. I thought it was a free kick, but the referee's given a throw-in. So Young to take it. As Mike says, Stephen is born and bred, but I'm afraid that was out of Cristiano Ronaldo's school of simulation. What he did to Henderson, I think if that was a deliberate attempt to get Henderson in the book, it failed. Missed. Probably he got a free kick for his troubles though, as Mane has just kept it in on the far side. And Firmino is there too. Firmino with a shot. Oh, he tried to caress it in. Maybe hitting it a bit more power might have done the trick for to beat David De Gea. I don't think a goalkeeper of De Gea's class is going to be fooled by a shot like that. It was a lovely break from Liverpool down the right-hand side. And Firmino hit it so tamely on the right foot. It was side of his right foot, and De Gea read it really well, to be fair, but it was a tame hit. And Firmino, a guy of his quality, should be hitting the target a lot better. He's hit the target, but he should be hitting that with a great more deal of power. Should have hit that and put his foot through it. If you don't put your foot through it, what's the worst that can happen? But that was just a tame finish to a great move for Liverpool there that could have yielded so much more than what they got at that particular time. Meanwhile, Manchester United have a throw on the right hand side, deep inside the Liverpool half. Wan-Bissaka takes it, but it's fully found a Liverpool player. Their marking was good there this time, Jurgen Klopp's men. But here comes Wan-Bissaka, having plenty of the ball on that right-hand channel. Infield it goes to Pereira, but he's lost out. Now Henderson breaks for Liverpool towards halfway. And he's got Alexander-Arnold on the overlap. But he found Alexander-Arnold, gets it over the halfway line, finds Sadio Mane. Mane turns nicely. Varney now, he's got Origi to his left, and he's got Firmino through the middle, and he's got Henderson now bursting the gut now on the right-hand side. It's Bobby Firmino with a header. It's palmed away by De Gea, and the flag is up anyway for offside. And the goal, if it had gone in from Bobby Firmino, would not have stood. But his arm's offside. But I think in the olden days he would have been level. But because of these complicated offside rules, then I suppose it has to be offside. To be quite frank with you, as we go into the final 10 minutes. And don't forget, the Premier League's No Room for Racism campaign is in full operation. Don't forget to check that out on the Premier League website. Anyway, Daniel James now down the right-hand side of United. The game suddenly becoming on a stretch and turned into the net. Inside the 6-yard area by Marcus Rashford. It's Manchester United who take the lead. And Liverpool are complaining. They think that there was a foul possibly in the build-up. And the referee now might have to consult the VAR officials. Was there a foul or was there a potential offside? I think it may have been an infringement at the other end. Well, something's gone on. It might have been a potential foul here on Origi. And I have to say, Liverpool might have a case here. Because that's a tackle from behind. That should be a free kick. And how Martin Atkinson has not spotted this is beyond me. The VAR has been checked and it is a goal. But Liverpool, I think, have every right to feel aggrieved by that, because that was definitely a free kick there. Look at that. How is that not a free kick? Having said that, what a good ball in there. And Rashford doing what he does best. And, there's going to be some uproar again, and VAR again. Oh dear. And we were doing so well not to mention this afternoon. The controversy of it, and we might have another controversy here. It looked a foul. The goal should not stand for me. And they have to check this. They've got to check it. They're checking it now. And you can see Jordan Henderson. He's absolutely furious. I think the goal has been allowed to stand. And that is another controversial VAR decision. Jurgen Klopp is not having any of it. And John Moss, ironically, is at the centre of it all down there. He was at the centre of that scandal at Leicester yesterday, which cost Burnley what should have been a deserved point. And now he's got to deal with Jurgen Klopp. Absolute disgraceful from the officials again. And the VAR referee is David Coote. How can he not spot that? And the VAR debate is going to rumble on and on and on and on until we have the same old discussions each and every week. John Moss, he got a verbal volley from Sean Dyche yesterday over a bad decision with VAR. Now he's getting a deserved one from Jurgen Klopp. It's not on this VAR. It's not. I'm lost for words. It's not the technology that's the problem. It's the people that are using it that's the problem. This, to me, is that's a free kick. That is a free kick. Lindelof has gone right through the back of him, and that to me is a foul on Origi. I'm not having it any other way than that, and 50% of you can disagree with me on that. But that is not a foul. That is not a goal, I should say. That is a definite foul, and Jurgen Klopp has got every right, in my opinion, to be absolutely frustrated about that. That is not a good decision from the linesman, from the officials. Referee Martin Atkinson should have seen it. And once again, Another Premier League game surrounded in VAR and refereeing controversies. How many more of these controversies are we going to have to endure before these officials actually do their jobs properly? Another decision going against Liverpool. Mr. Atkinson deciding that one of the Liverpool players are fouled there, and a rueful, sarcastic smile, I should say, from Jurgen Klopp. It's a terrible decision. It's a terrible, terrible decision. Atkinson's not 5 yards away from it. And it's just disgraceful, really. And I don't think it's on. Anyway, 3-kick to Manchester United, who lead 1-0. Controversial goal scored by Marcus Rashford. No disrespect to Rashford himself. He took his goal. He took the goal beautifully. There was no question about the way he took the goal. But it's the 3-kick in the build-up to that Liverpool will have a lot of concern about. And I can't wait to hear Jurgen Klopp's turn of events after the game if Liverpool do go on to lose this. But what Liverpool must now do now with 5 minutes or 4 minutes of the first half left is just keep their heads now and just see if they can grab an equaliser. If not, they've still got 45 minutes to change it. As Mike says, it goes back to yesterday, as I said, you don't get them away from home in front of 70,000 home fans. Well, David Coates at Stockley Park, now he's not under any influence of 70,000 fans, surely. He's got about 16 million different camera angles to look at it from. And I've probably looked at it from the same angles as he's seen it down at Stockley Park in London. And yet we've come to a different conclusion of events. I think the way, I'll say it again, I don't think it's the technology that Barca is the problem. It's the people that are using it that are the problem. And they haven't obviously been educated enough. I mean, the more you see that, the more that is a foul. And David Coates at Stockley Park must be kicking himself, because that was a blatant, obvious tackle from behind. Under FIFA laws, that is a foul. I'm not having what Panini says there. I have to disagree with you. That is a foul. It's a foul. And this is going to open a whole new, more kind of debates. This was VAR stuff was supposed to be brought in to end debates like this. In fact, it's fueled the fire even more. Controversy here at the end of the first half. Liverpool win possession back rather fortuitously, I felt. And here comes Origi, and he's lost out this time. And now Manchester United can break. And Pereira goes down. Referee doesn't want to know this time. And the ball back to Alisson in the Liverpool goal. Back in goal for the first time since the opening weekend against Norwich City. And Ronaldo now to Virgil van Dijk. Now Joel Matip. As we come up towards the final 2 minutes plus stoppage time at the end of the first half, we'll have a 15-minute half-time break. As Mane's gone in behind. Mane now for Liverpool. Mane 1-1. Is it? Yes. The goal is given. Sadio Mane is level for Liverpool. This is unbelievable stuff. What a comeback from Liverpool. They've reacted so positively. Now Manchester United complain. And De Gea is frustrated. There's an inquest going on. De Gea is wanting to challenge the decision. And I think we're going to go to VAR this time. Now then. It's a potential handball perhaps by Sadio Mane. It's 1-1 at the moment. Now, does he handle it here? Oh, I don't know. I think it does hit his hand. David Coates has got another decision to make. Now, does he give the goal or does he rule it out? I think he's given the goal. He has. No, he hasn't. He's ruled it out. He's ruled it out. Well, they've come to the correct decision this time. I think it was a handball. I thought for a moment that the goal was going to be given. But that, for once, was the correct decision. I don't think Jurgen Klopp on this decision can argue about that. Because I'm looking into the replay. Look, he clearly comes off his arm there. I think the referee's got that one spot on. I have to say that, and straight away, straight away. I mean, David De Gea is one of the more fairer players in the United side. I mean, there must be something badly wrong if he's appealing for stuff. So I suppose in that respect, I think the officials at the second time of asking have got a VAR decision correct. But you don't get it wrong in the first place, and then attempt to put it right. So United have benefited from 2 VAR decisions. One that shouldn't have been for a foul on Origi, but one was correct for a clear handball by Marnie in the build-up to Liverpool's disallowed equaliser. So it remains 1-0 to Manchester United. We're now into stoppage time at the end of the first half, for which, after all this fun and games, is going to be 1 minute. It took about 15 minutes to come to the ball, but from then on in, it's been all fun and games. Both teams have had the ball in the back of the net. United in controversial circumstances didn't have their goal ruled out for VAR, but Liverpool certainly have. Well, the debate will rumble on. It's fun and games here. Here's Pereira now, right at the end of the first half. Cross was charged down by Andrew Robertson. Corner. Now we've got about 15 seconds of the first half remaining at Old Trafford, and I think we need to lie down after all this last 15 minutes of fun and games. I think we really do. Alexander-Arnold still moaning about a couple of the VAR decisions that have gone against Liverpool. Remember, coming into this game with a 100% record, and Manchester United have a corner. I think it's been a little bit to and fro, to be honest with you, Ross, but United have made some good opportunities. Liverpool have made only a couple as Young sends that corner into the mixer once again. United looking to press home for a second goal. We've played well over the minute, and referee Martin Atkinson is surely poised with his watch now as that ball is with Alisson. Indeed, he does blow for half-time, and look at Jurgen Klopp. He knows the urgency of it all. He's running down that touchline at a million miles an hour, like Usain Bolt to that tunnel, because he's got a mammoth half-time team talk in the next 15 minutes or so. But it's all been happening here. Last 15 minutes has been fun and games. United in front for a controversial goal scored by Rashford. Nothing wrong with the way he took the goal, but Liverpool felt there was a clear foul in the build-up, and I have to say it was. But VAR said it was fair, which I find baffling. Well, they did get a decision right when Sadio Mane's goal was clearly when he clearly handled in the build-up to Liverpool's disallowed equaliser. It was rightly disallowed, and at the half-time we've got a 1-1 scoreline. And let's hope we have a decent game of football in the second half and not VAR controversy, but it will be talked about, that is for sure, in the next 15 minutes or so. I'm going to now come off for the next 15 minutes or so. Join us again if you can for then. Until then, I'll see you in 15 minutes with the scoreline here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0. We'll be back for the second half. Welcome back live to Old Trafford for the game between Manchester United and Liverpool, as you see, full of controversy. And so we're ahead now. Manchester United head for a controversial goal. So other people would say that it should have been disallowed for a foul on a foul behind, but on Origi, but the referee wasn't interested. VAR was quite happy that was the decision, but I think they got that one wrong. As for the other one, as we kick off the second half, the Sadio Mane one, which was disallowed, I thought that was a correct decision, but I'm sticking to my opinion that the first one, the United goal, should not have counted. So once again, as Mike said earlier on in the comment section, it's all about the consistency, I suppose. You look at it from social media, and it's just, there needs to be a consistency here as we kick off. Manchester United in no changes from either side, but I'm sure Jurgen Klopp would have been saying to his troops, don't panic, there's still a long way to go yet. United have been known to blow things like this before, so I'm sure that's what he'll be saying at half time. Russ is hoping to be on at Sheffield tomorrow, and that's our next stop on the commentating landscape. Then we have a 2-week break from commentary. Well, I think we've got a Champions League game, and then it will be a 2-week break as well, because obviously I've got other commitments and everyone else has got other commitments as well. Hopefully we'll be back in a couple of weeks' time for more commentary. As we go back to the second half then, and Russ and Mike putting in bids for the commentary job tomorrow. I'm definitely going to be just presenting tomorrow night. Anyway, here's Jordan Henderson down the right for Liverpool. As he goes in there with a cross, they're attacking the goal to the left as that cross comes in. And it's a poor one. I think it's been kept in play, actually. It has. As the ball's coming towards Mane inside the penalty area. And Liverpool starting like an express train. As Manchester United now look to try and get this away. Kevin says Chris Wood versus VAR. Well, it should have been Chris Wood winning that battle. I think don't antagonize me, Kevin, today. Of all days, it's been annoying. The last 24 hours, it's been a really hard one to take as a Burnley fan, and Liverpool fans are feeling exactly how Burnley fans were feeling, and Watford fans, and to a certain extent Wolves fans yesterday. It just boggles the mind somehow when you VAR was supposed to eliminate these decisions. As Mane goes in there, no evident use of the arm that time, but in the end it was well crowded out. Now a free kick is gone against Liverpool there, to Liverpool's disgust. Did he use an arm, or was he offside as that ball was played? Well, he didn't look offside from where I was sitting. I've got to be perfectly honest, I think the linesman's made a bit of a mistake there. Was he fouled? Oh, he might have fouled Harry Maguire, actually. Yeah, Harry Maguire's the man he fouled, so yes. Maybe the referee was right. Maguire's back up on his feet and okay to continue. Yeah, so in the end the referee did get that one right. It's been difficult, it's been touchy at times, but the talk will be about the goal scored by Rashford and the goal that wasn't scored in the end, or that was disallowed by Sadio Mane. Should it have counted or not? There will be inquests, and maybe the Premier League needs to take a good hard look at the way that VAR is being utilised. I'm not saying scrap it completely, because up until yesterday I was a complete and utter advocate for it. I still am for the technology. I'd rather see any different kind of people use it, not the current officials that we've got now. And I think it should be not at Stockley Park. I think it should be at the ground, in the television truck outside the ground, and we want the incidents on the big screen so that people can hear. They have it in rugby, they have it in cricket. Why not have it in football? Come to the right decision. I don't care how long it takes. So what if the flow of the game's interrupted for about 2 or 3 minutes? So be it. Come to the right decision. It's not difficult. But yet the Premier League, I mean, isn't there supposed to be monitors on the touch lines, and the referees are supposed to run to? I've not seen one referee yet do that. And now Matty James is down on the floor. Jurgen Klopp is asking why, because Liverpool had an attack going. Now, you can't blow up for anything other than a head injury. Now, I'm wondering if it is a head injury that James has picked up. If it's something down below, then the referee should not have stopped it at all. Video's on the pit. Video's on there. It looks like he's... Well, let's have a look what happened here then on the far side. It was a little bit of a tangle. Well, it was. I think his head hit his shoulder, I think. James coming forward. He's winded him. I think James makes a bit of a meal of it, to be fair. He knew exactly what he was doing. He wasn't winded at all. I think he is a bit winded, but I think he's making a lot more of it than it needs to be. And Jurgen Klopp is furious again. It's all happening here, that's for sure. Russ, that's fine. I acknowledge that message, but you and Mike do it amongst yourselves. I'm happy for either one of you two to do it tomorrow. I know I'll get a good commentary whichever one of you does it, and that'll be fine for me. Don't forget, no room for racism campaign, and that'll be in full flow. Whoever's commentating tomorrow, with Russ or Mike, whichever one will be commentating on that game at Bramall Lane tomorrow. But one thing's for certain, I'll be in the presenter's chair in the warmth of my studio, and then either one of Russ and Mike will have to brave the cold night in Sheffield, and I don't envy them one bit. Anyway, it's 1-0 to Manchester United in the cold of Manchester, and it's only going to Solskjaer. The bus is up and motioning now with him behind the wheel at this moment in time, but there are times where it could veer off course, and Liverpool have the tools to do that. So United fans, don't get ahead of yourself, because anything can happen, and Old Trafford, they seem to buckle under there the most, so nothing's taken for granted yet. But Liverpool really need to play an awful lot better than what they did in the first half. I have to say, Solskjaer was tactically sound in the first half. I think that's what's been overlooked by the VAR stuff, because Solskjaer tactically has got it spot on, and he's nullified the Liverpool attack. I mean, not having Mo Salah in the team was a bonus for Manchester United, and that would have put an extra 5% into their adrenaline for this game anyway. But then Liverpool should have been the same when they learnt that Paul Pogba wasn't playing. So it depends how you like to see it on the day. Here's James battling there on the far side. Manchester United throw, level with the 18-yard box of Liverpool. Rashford there doing well to yield that throw in. He makes his way into the penalty area. Wan-Bissaka to take it far side. United, remember, attacking the Stretford end away to my left-hand side. Here's Pereira. Pereira tangling there with Wijnaldum. And then it comes off Wan-Bissaka for a throw into Liverpool. Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0 is the scoreline here at Old Trafford. Be a nice victory there for Manchester United, who haven't had too much to shout about. 7 minutes of the second half gone, incidentally, as the ball is headed away by Young on halfway. There's so much happening now. I'm beginning to... it's just very hard for me, Ross, to take the eye off the game. You blink, you miss something. Now a bit of a game of head tennis going on in the middle. Fabinho involved as Pereira gets it down the line. Rashford waits in the centre. This is James, takes possession. James now looking for options. He's got one here in Wan-Bissaka. Still on the right hand side. Infield to Scott McTominay. Infield to Fred. Fred now looking to go down the left hand side, and it's Ashley Young. His attempted balling was poor. It was well cut out. It was easily cut out by Liverpool defenders. And still it remains 1-0 to Manchester United. Here's Harry Maguire, the most costliest defender in the world. He plays an aimless ball that hasn't obviously been kept in by Ashley Young, and now the throw-in is for Trent Alexander-Arnold back to Alisson, making his first appearance, incidentally. Mo Salah's injured. He picked up an injury, I think, on international duty. There was a lot of talk. Would he fail? It was a lot of talk. There was was a lot of talk whether he'd make it to the game or not. He didn't, unfortunately, Sue. And as Mike points out, he's injured at the moment. So that's why Salah's not playing, and that's why you see Origi playing, or hear Origi playing, I should say. Anyway, here's Fabinho now for Liverpool. They're still capable, even without Salah on the field, soon to get back into this game. They've got to believe in themselves. But at the moment, the way Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got United purring tactically, it could be a very difficult hurdle to break down, but it can be broke down. They do have on the bench Liverpool, Lovren, Milner, Keita, Gomez, Adrian, Chamberlain, Lallana, all match winners on their day. As the ball whipped in towards the penalty area, and again, Gismani and Firmino just bunching up a bit. 10 minutes gone in the second half, still 1-0 to Manchester United. That controversial goal scored by Marcus Rashford after there was a clear foul on the Liverpool player, clear foul by Lindelof on Origi, or perceived to be, in the build-up to the goal scored by Rashford. They did go to VAR, and David Cook, the official, said it was fine. And then Liverpool quite rightly had a goal disallowed when Marnie burst through, but used his hand in control and so to put the ball past the hair and into the back of the net. But he had used his arm quite clearly on the replay to control it, and that's why we're still at 1-0. But second half possession, Manchester United at home, just 25% possession so far in the second half. Liverpool, by contrast, have had 75%. But at the moment, they're moving very much sideways here. They need to have a bit more urgency in their play. It's all right having good possession of the ball. It's what you do with that possession that counts. And I believe Oxlade-Chamberlain may well be warming up there, as Mike reports. I've got very good moles down below me in the dugouts in Russ and Mike, and they bring you up-to-date information on who might be coming on, who isn't. There's a player down for United, but Atkinson allowing for advantage. Must not have been a head injury, as the ball is hooked back to Maguire. Now De Gea, does he keep it going or put it out of play? No, he goes down the centre. And is the man still down there? Yeah, it still is. United fans imploring Liverpool to put the ball out of play, but they're well within their rights to play on if they want to. And here's Trent Alexander-Arnold in field. If it's not an head injury, then Liverpool are well within their rights to play on, and that's surely got to be a foul there on Alexander-Arnold, but it isn't. The referee again, and the assistant, Mr. Adzakis, I'm afraid, I thought that was an obvious free kick. Now Liverpool have reluctantly put the ball out of play, and James is injured again. And I just hope he's not making a meal of it. The amount of times I've seen him swing the lead on things like this. Nothing wrong with that challenge at all by Fabinho. And again, James looks up, turns around, starts play acting. I mean, you don't turn around and do that. That's a telltale sign. This Daniel James is a great player, but he does... I mean, okay, fair enough, he's being attended to, and that's fine, and that's no problem. But I just hope he's not over-milking it, because he has had a tendency. I saw him at Wolves when we were doing that match there, and I thought he was a bit of a disgrace that night, I have to say. But this is the goal again. This is the end bit. This is James's cross, and in came Rashford. And there's nothing wrong with the cross or the finish, by the way. That's not what we're talking about here. It's the fact that should the goal have stood for a foul a bit further back than that, when Divock Origi seemed to be tackled quite unfairly, illegally from behind by Victor Lindelof, and I think that is what is the crux of the matter, as Rashford now comes down to the near side now. Still waiting for Oxlade-Chamberlain to come on. He's speaking with Scott McTominay here, passing on instructions from the bench. Divock Origi is apparently is rumoured to be the man going off. I wouldn't be too surprised in the least, because it must be a bit more serious then. It's obvious then that James isn't swinging the lead there. But Origi rumoured to be the man coming off. I'm not really surprised. He's not had his best game today, Origi, having to come in at this last second and perform as he has done. And indeed it is Divock Origi, as Mike quite rightly reports. Maybe Chamberlain could offer something here, a little bit extra there. It is difficult when you've lost Mo Salah in the build-up to this game, and and he's been on international duty. I really do curse the international breaks for that. It must frustrate clubs when players get injured out of their control, of course, because it sets them back a little bit. And again, there's a case in point with, I'm afraid, with Mo Salah. When they're with their countries, with their national team, they have a duty of care, the national team, and really, some of the two of them don't seem to care. Anyway, back to the game, and Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0 as we approach an hour gone. And JB Man of the Match vote will be opening shortly, 65th minute, so I'll let you know and remind you of what that entails in around 65 minutes. And of course, Oxlade-Chamberlain, of course, Mike bringing this up, so it's not his fault. Don't want to stir bad memories for you, but he was part of the Arsenal team that were beaten 8-2 by Manchester United several seasons ago. It was one of Sir Alex Ferguson's final seasons in charge. It might have been his penultimate season. I think it was a season where City won the title with the last kick at the end of the season, where Sergio Aguero scoring the winning goal against QPR. I think it was the same season as that. As Manchester United look to defend this 1-goal lead they've got. Liverpool do have a throw-in midway inside the United half. David De Gea hasn't had a massive save to make, although he did make one that wouldn't have counted anyway because Firmino was offside. This is Robertson now for Liverpool, trying to go down a blind alley on the left-hand channel, and I don't mean that disrespectful to say there. It was just a figure of speech, so apologies there if anyone was offended by that. As the ball is now played into Firmino, and now Robertson with acres of space now on that left-hand channel. Needs to be a good cross. Oh, he bisects every one of them, and it goes behind. I think it might have been Oxlade-Chamberlain and Bobby Firmino as well. There was a real opportunity there for Liverpool, and Robertson there just overcooking the cross a little bit there from the left-hand side. This is Joel Matip now inside his own half for Liverpool. Now Alexander-Arnold has it on halfway. Still 1-0 to Manchester United. Alexander-Arnold now back in field. We're past the hour mark, remember. And this really will be a real test of Liverpool's character now as potential title winners. It's very difficult for me to say that in the middle of October. No titles have been won in October or November. This is Wijnaldum to Matip. Now Fabinho takes it midway inside almost the Manchester United half. Now Matip has a canter forward. Got Alexander-Arnold into the act. Now then, what can the Liverpool-born man do here? His cross was charged away. Liverpool do get the throw in. Deep inside Manchester United territory on the right-hand side. Near side as we look here at Old Trafford. We're in the Bobby Charlton stand in the press area here. Still 1-0 to United if you've joined us late. Marcus Rashford with the goal. Rather controversial. It went to VAR, but it was given. But they looked a clear foul in the build-up. But the referee, David Coote, overruled it and said it has to be a goal. And then Mane had a goal, rightly this time disallowed, for a use of the arm in putting the ball in the back of the net, which didn't turn out to be, in the end, the equalising goal. 63 gone. Still 1-0. Yeah, thanks, Sue. I knew you would say that. You know, because you're a good person, and you know I don't mean. You know I'm a nice guy. I'm afraid that commentary will not be allowed. I'm afraid this is about football and nothing else. Can we just keep it to the football? Well, I thought we banned you the other year actually, and it's not right. Take that off, please. Russ or Mike, please take that off. We don't need him. He's sort on here. Here come Liverpool now. Edge of the penalty area. Shot comes in and it's turned away. Chamberlain's shot, did it deflect? I'm not sure. I think it might have done. I will not have any derogatory comments. This is not about shaming people. This is not about... What did I say about on Monday about comments like this? It has to be nipped in the bud. I warned people that this would... I warn people like it. People like you disgrace me. Thank you, Russ. Man UFC. You disgrace me. The channel's been reported as well. I'm glad. Thank you very much, Panini and Russ. You know, I warned people about this after I had one or two nasty comments on Monday. And obviously people are not heeding, certain minorities are not heeding what I'm trying to do. This is a family show. And I'm pig sick of saying this, but I'm going to have to say it again. Please keep your comments respectful and clean. Otherwise, don't bother commenting at all. And if you continue to do that, and this is a minority, I know the majority of you are very well behaved on this, the comment section will be taken down for future matches, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to be the man who's unpopular enough to do that. Anyway, speaking of this, yeah, I know you wouldn't, Alfie. That's not what we're there for. It's just a certain amount. Yeah, we're not having to go at you, Alfie. There's a channel that's designed to cause harm to other supporters and make fun of them, and it's towards the Hillsborough victims, and I'm not having that portrayed on my channel. There's too much respect. Anyway, here's Henderson now for Liverpool. I'll tell you about man in the match belt. That he's opening. I'll tell you how to vote in a minute, because Liverpool are on the attack, and now James can get it away from Manchester United. Still 1-0, and Young now to get it down the line, and Matip in there very strongly. Henderson now, he needs to inspire his team here a little bit. Ball inside into the middle. Still Liverpool have a chance, as the ball is whizzed out towards the far side now. Robertson tries to play a 1-2. Liverpool looking for this equaliser. And I'll tell you the man in the match as soon as I get a second or two and a breaking play or a foul or whatever. At this moment the game is so fast paced you can't take your eyes off this for a second. This is Rashford now for Manchester United, left hand side, runs towards the edge of the area. It's Marcus Rashford, left foot, and he's hit it right footed, and he's hit it just wide of the left post. That was a really good opportunity there for United, and one might have thought there that Rashford could have gone in there a little bit further than when he did shoot. I think he could have come closer to Alisson here perhaps. Takes two Liverpool defenders out of it. Well, maybe not then. I'm looking at it again from the spider cam angle we're seeing it from. Right, JB man of the match time. Don't forget, name me your player, please. If it's a man of the match vote, voted in every match that we do live here on this channel. And I just want to make it clear that for it to count, you need to hashtag it with the hashtag JBMLTM and the name of your player. Doesn't matter if it's just a surname. As long as you hashtag it with JBMLTM, that is fine by me. Halfway through the second half now, it's still 1-0 to Manchester United, and the ball out of play for a throw-in. And we're going to see Adam Lallana on in a minute for Liverpool, who trail here at Old Trafford by a 1-0. A controversial goal scored by Rashford. And Liverpool felt there was a clear foul in the build-up on Divock Origi by Lindelof, which wasn't given, or which inexplicably wasn't given. But they did get it right eventually later on when Mane's goal was chalked off because he used an arm in the build-up to scoring, putting the ball into the back of the net. And now Henderson's been penalised down on the near side on halfway. And we're going to try and get reaction from both Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jurgen Klopp after this, but I think it might be worth pursuing this. We're now coming up towards 6 o'clock in the UK, United Kingdom. Let me know if anybody else is abroad listening to this further afield than here. We are a worldwide channel as well, so let me know where you're listening from. If you're abroad and out these shores, it really is good to know. Sorry about that. We just lost a lot of sound whilst we're away. There's been a free kick awarded to Manchester United. Fabinho has been booked. We're now into the last 20 minutes. Remember the man of the match. Name of your player, JB MLTM is the hashtag. You've got 20 minutes to vote. Manchester United free kick. Midway inside the Liverpool half. Chip towards Maguire inside the area. Good header, one there. And in fact, I think there's a foul there by, I think, an offside against Harry Maguire as he went in round the back. So we're going to see Adam Lallana. I mean outside of England. Anyone who's listening outside of England, not you two. Meanwhile, we've got a substitution taking place here. Jordan Henderson, the captain, is going off. And on in his place comes Adam Lallana. So I don't know who's going to grab the captain's armband. We'll have to find out in just a second or two. Listening from England. I've been a Panini, I'm listening from my man. I didn't mean you three. I meant anybody abroad, because we are a worldwide channel. We're trying to promote this channel worldwide, and you are saying you're from England. Oh dear! If we didn't have a laugh with the subscribers, when can we have a laugh? This is it. Even in the seriousness of a serious live commentary, there has to be room for live-hearted banter. It really does. Anyway, last 20. We're inside the final 19 minutes of the game. 6 a.m. in the New Zealand. They've got. We're gonna be rivals next week because we're playing you guys in the Rugby World Cup semi-final next week up in Tokyo. So that'll be interesting. I fancy us to do that, do the All Blacks there next week. Anyway, back to the game, and yes, I agree with what Sue said about this channel mocking the. Make the moment. There's the shot just wide. Fred trying the shot with the left foot and wide it goes. I think mocking 96 football supporters is, as I said, very distasteful. And it's not in the best possible taste, and we had to ban him. It's just not fair. We are a fair-minded channel. We're not biased in any way, shape or form against other clubs, apart from when they play Burnley, of course. But no, I mean, in all seriousness, we don't allow for that, and we've been at pains the last few weeks. This is what she said. Even is just the name of the channel laughing at the 96 says it all. Disgusted. Glad we banned him while we have, and I think it's a disgrace, really, that these channels are just up for the sake of being up stake, and we have a duty of care for that. Van Dijk is the first bid from Sue for man of the match, and she's done, and that's all you've got to do, everyone else. Sue has set the standard now for the man of the match belt. Meanwhile, Liverpool have got a free kick, and Adam Lallana to take it. Now James has been. So we've got 1-1 now. We've got a United player and a Liverpool player in the running for man of the match. Van Dijk and James. And James is now 2 votes ahead. 2 votes for Russ and Panini. And 1 for Van Dijk. So the votes are coming in thick and fast for man of the match. So we'll have to try and keep up with those. There are 3 prime examples of what you need to do to vote for man of the match. And they're good examples as well. So take heed. If Frank Khan says Van Dijk, so 2 apiece for Van Dijk and James. As Manchester United come forward again, we might have a very close vote for man in the match. We certainly had the other night when Tyrone Mings got it in the end, and there was a bit of a battle between him and Raheem Sterling for the award. And amongst all that nastiness, there was that little composition going on, which we thoroughly enjoyed seeing being revealed on the screen. But there's 4 good examples on how you need to vote for man in the match, and you just have to follow those examples. Name of your player, hashtag it JBMLTM, and that's all you need to do. It doesn't matter if you spell the player's name wrong. I can tell who it is straight away. I've got X-ray eyes, and Mike's going to wait until the last minute. Well, that's what we want to see, Mike. And now we're going into the final knockings of this game. It's been a remarkable match. I've really enjoyed bringing it to you live. We've had controversy, and I'm really good. I'm really pleased that everyone's been light-hearted about everything today, because this is a big game for so many reasons, rivalries and all that. But when it comes to personal stuff, we do want to make it clear that we're a channel that doesn't tolerate all this sort of thing. We're now coming up towards the last quarter of an hour here at Old Trafford. Liverpool's 100% record is well and truly on the line. They're 15 minutes of losing that record. That's being stand because it's Manchester United leading for that controversial goal in the first half by Rashford. That is the difference so far at the moment, and it's never been easy for Liverpool, that's for sure. But this is the England comments, it is brilliant. There's been some earlier results in the Football League. Russ is very keen to let me bring you to you. There was a terrific result which affects the top of the championship, because Forest, who have been leading the championship in tandem with Leeds most of the will just break away because that ball was just coming in there, well taken. Not VAR, that's for sure. So Wigan have beaten Nottingham Forest. That was a big game at the top of the table for Wigan, for Forest, and they've lost it. So that'll be good news for Russ and for Leeds, and one or two other clubs that are fighting up there. West Brom being one of them, and a few others. Swansea were up there earlier on. I'm not sure if they've dropped off a bit. And a terrific little win for Accrington Stanley. Meanwhile, Liverpool got a free kick here. Just a booking in the game, just in case you've joined us late. Fabinho is the man who's been booked, and he do well to stay away from Martin Atkinson and not complain. That doesn't count as a well, not VAR. So Ipswich, who were leaders and the runaway leaders, and the only unbeaten record left in League One, well, they were beaten 2-0 by a plucky Accrington Stanley, who now move out the League One relegation zone. Meanwhile, here at Old Trafford, it's a Liverpool free kick into the penalty area. It goes. The header was won, but it was a tame header down from Bobby Firmino, and it was the most comfortable take for David De Gea that he'll ever have all season. It was a good free kick there from, I think it was Virgil van Dijk from the right hand side. As I say, no penetration on the header inside the 6-yard area, and David De Gea on the bounce took it comfortably. No ifs, no buts, no maybes. So Liverpool dominating the possession in the first half. They had 56% to 44%, and they've dominated even more in the second half, 75% to United's 25%. But the one statistic that really counts in the moment is Manchester United 1, Liverpool 0. Russ has gone for flop of the match. Not that we're introducing one, but I'm not going to answer that last one. That'd be absolutely anonymous. Oh, Mike's done it for me. Never mind. Flop of the match, VAR. Well, it's been a flop of this weekend, to be quite honest with you. I mean, flop of the match is just the tip of the iceberg, really. When you talk about all the other decisions at Leicester, at Tottenham, and at Wolves yesterday, when Watford, Burnley, and Wolves themselves were all robbed on really shoddy VAR decisions. And now Liverpool joined that harsh list. And they've been penalised again with 12 minutes to go. And the United fans here are cock-a-hoop. And they've had to put up with so much turmoil in the last sort of 12 months since Jose Mourinho left, or the last couple of years. And really nothing on target so far in the whole second half from either side. That is disappointing to see. In a game of a huge importance as this, I'm very, very, very disappointed from a neutral point of view. And they're going to make their first substitute. I don't know. It might be one of the youngsters. It could be Mason Greenwood, actually. He's a good, promising young player coming through the ranks at Old Trafford. Here's Ronaldo to Firmino. Now Robertson. They need a big 10 minutes from him now. So too do Liverpool. They need a big 10 minutes or full stop. Ball towards Firmino, who tries to casually take it down. And Jurgen Klopp is wanting more. There's nothing wrong with his passion down there. He wants more from his team. He demands more. He hasn't seen enough. If you take out the VAR controversies, I don't think Liverpool over the course of the game, really, despite the possession they've had, and they've had lots and lots of possession, but they just haven't utilised it right. And it's the first time I think I've seen Liverpool really feel that they play badly, and they actually have. They've actually played really well in most of the games, but sometimes you can have an off day. But what a time to have an off day potentially at Old Trafford. Having said that, though, they played poorly against Sheffield United, but still won. On another day, they could have lost that game. But maybe today is the day that Manchester United end up with the victory. Although it will be event in a controversial circumstances. I think they said sandwiches then. Marcus reported that the third Liverpool sub is going to be coming on, so it's going to be Nabil Keita who's going to be coming on here. And we're going to see a substitution made for Manchester United. I'm just getting it. We're going to get that confirmed in just a second or two. A long ball forward now as Van Dijk cuts the ball out. I don't think I've heard Old Trafford this noisy for a long time. But it's only going to Solskjaer's bus back up and running. As VAR fixed it in the garage and got it back going again. Who knows? Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold down the right hand side. Tries to loft the ball in there. Looking to Miles Marnie, who's not stopped running, but it hasn't been effective enough. Keita is coming on, I believe. Manchester United still waiting to make their substitution, I'm told. And here it was a Liverpool sub. In fact, it was a Liverpool sub. So Mike actually got it wrong, but he admits it anyway, so I don't need to pull him up on that. He didn't recognise the player. Well, we know it's Nabil Keita now that's going to be coming on as the ball is threaded into the penalty area. Now, Liverpool must keep it alive. Have they got a throw-in out of it? I think they have. Liverpool now 9 minutes away from their first defeat of the season. They haven't lost a match this season in the Premier League. The only defeat I think they've had was, I think, in Europe. Yes, it was in Europe, and they lost, I think, to Napoli in the Champions League. That's the only defeat they've had competitively so far this season. Is it going to end here at Old Trafford today? Manchester United holding in there for a 1-0 result at the moment as things stand. We've had 81 and 3/4 minutes. Still 1-0 to United. Here's Keita with his first touch. Back to Keita again. It's all or nothing now. Who was the player that was replaced by Keita, Mike? I didn't see it. Here's Robertson, crossed into the penalty area. Oh, dear me, and that one needed to be cooked, and it was hacked away with United at the last second. If he had missed it, Liverpool were in for something there, for an equalising goal. This is Matip now for Liverpool. The white shirts and Liverpool have lost the ball. Ronaldo was the player that was replaced. Now here goes James. James down the near side. Matty James, Rashford's there. Oh, that could have been the killer second there for Manchester United. And in fact, it was Daniel James, sorry. I got so wound up there, I said Matty and not Daniel. It was Daniel James, sorry. Here's United again. Shot comes in, and that's just gone wide of Alisson's goal. Really good football again. The shot coming in, it was Fred with the left foot. Just curling away from Alisson's goal and wide of the far post. Could have said David. Could have said David, I should say. Anyway, Marcus Rashford is the player coming off for Manchester United. Played all right, scored the goal. Could have had a second just now, but Anthony Martial is going to come on. And gets a great cheer, Rashford, as he goes towards the bench. I don't think United supporters have cheered that loud for a long time at Old Trafford, and believe you and me, I don't think they were that noisy at Old Trafford on the opening day when they beat Chelsea 4-0. And I've got some reports coming in from Italy. I'm afraid that the Ronaldo Vieira, the former Leeds player, I'm afraid to say has been, and Russ is probably saying this with gritted teeth as well, that he's been subject to racist abuse in Italy today. He plays his club football for Sampdoria in Genoa, and of course we mentioned the Haringbury game. That was terrible, and well done to the Haringey lads. That's Liverpool going to score an equaliser. It's Adam Lallana from the right in there from a yard out at the right hand post, the far side, and Liverpool may not keep their 100% record, but they're not going to give up their unbeaten record in the Premier League without a fight. A crossing from the left hand side, And it was a beautiful cross he was. Andrew Robertson, the man who provided the cross, bisected everybody in the penalty area apart from the one man that mattered who scored it. Adam Lallana, who gets on the end of it. And De Gea is beaten, and all of a sudden all you can hear now is 2,500 Liverpool supporters going absolutely mental. Even a point would not be a bad result for Liverpool, as Sue said. Well, will this go to VAR? I don't think it's going to go to VAR at all. They were claiming offside, but the goal stands. I think the goal's going to stand. They do check everything down at Stockley Park, but I don't think it was clear and obvious. So that's what the decisions have got to be for it to be clear and obvious. Liverpool, well, there's a bit more of a grin on Jurgen Klopp's face now. It's 1-1. And who knows what might happen now. 4.5 minutes to go. Adam Lallana with an equaliser for Liverpool. And I've been hearing it's his first goal for some 2.5 years in the league. Well, it was a long time coming if that was the case. It's 1 apiece. I don't think anyone in this country needs to know about cricket wireless in American internet. I don't think anyone's heard of it, cricket. Only English people that know about cricket is the sport that England won the World Cup dramatically in July. And we've got a dramatic finish here at Old Trafford. United fled for so long. And Virgil van Dijk now gets the Man of the Match award. It's 3 votes to 2, I believe, in favour of Virgil van Dijk. This is amazing. Virgil van Dijk is less than 3.5 minutes away from winning our Man of the Match vote. It's 1-1 here. Liverpool haven't played well, but once again, they've shown that famous fighting spirit, which is what you need. And I think that goal, was the first shot on target from either side in the entire second half. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who thought his boss was back on track, well, it's got veered off course again a bit now. And there's going to be, Manchester United have been silenced again, and it's back to how it was beforehand. It is unbelievable. You've got about 3 minutes to vote for your Man of the Match. Van Dijk is leading 3-2 ahead of Daniel James in the Man of the Match vote. It's going to be some finish to the Man of the Match vote. It's going to be some finish to the game on the field as well. It's 1 apiece here, and Liverpool have another set piece, and up comes Van Dijk from the back. Oh, we're going to see a finish here. A finish that will be unbelievable. The ball chipped in towards the penalty area, and Liverpool now looking to win it. They haven't been at their imperious best, but that's the sign of champions. If you can even grind out a draw at the great rivals, and they might still win it here. Here comes the cross into the penalty area. Marley attacks it, still not away. Van Dijk's on the edge of the area. And Liverpool now knocking on the door. United pinned back in that penalty area. Here's Alexander Arnold. He fires it towards goal. No, he just clears the crossbar by a centimetre or 2. He hit it beautifully to the right-hand side of the D. Or the right-hand corner of the penalty area. Hit it well. Right foot. Bang over the top. And if that would have been a couple of inches lower, that would have been an amazing winning goal. Although in fairness, I think goalkeeper David De Gea would have had it covered. And there is a banner out there signalling 6 European Cups for Liverpool. Their 2,500 supporters must be delighted about this. Manchester United may not have been the force they once under Sir Alex Ferguson, but believe you and me, even as an away team, Manchester United are still wounded animals. And here come Liverpool. They're not going to stop now. They want to win this game. And Mike has had word from John Moss. I hope he's giving him a bit of stick for yesterday as well. It's going to be 500 minutes at the end of this to add to the tension here. The game live from Anfield. Now, that's a question I'll have to answer at full time, Russ, because anything could still happen here. I think it's probably, if I was going to tell you now, at this stage of the game, I think 1-1 would be a fair reflection of things, because you have to say, look, Manchester United have had chances, but then again, Liverpool have dominated. and have had the one shot on target that's really counted for something out of the two teams in the whole of the second half. So I suppose, in fairness, I think 1-1 would be just about right. We're inside the final 20 seconds, and it looks as if we're going to have a fan of the match vote winner. 15 seconds left to make a difference and take it to a deadlock. Remember, name of your player and hashtag JBMOTM. You've got about 6 seconds of voting left. Here come Liverpool. Robertson with another teasing cross. Comes out again. The man of the match vote is closed. I'll announce it formally in a second or two. Hang fire. This is Trent Alexander-Arnold into the penalty area. Still not out of play. Robertson keeps it alive. Left-hand side by the byline. United are preparing to bring on a second sub here. Might be a defensive sub. 5 added minutes as Mike reports. And here come Liverpool now. Virgil van Dijk has been confirmed as the JB man in the match. Well done to him. Here's Trent Alexander-Arnold on the right-hand side. Cross was blocked. The ball goes out of play. Well, now 30 seconds into the 5 minutes. It's Liverpool leading the charge of the Light Brigade towards that Manchester United goal. Right at the end, as Liverpool look to go in search of what will be a winning goal for them. They've not been at their best, but my word, they're laying siege to the Liverpool goal. If United just about edged it in the first half, Liverpool certainly deserve to edge it more than not in the second. Keita now. And here's Trent Alexander-Arnold infield. Still Alexander-Arnold, edge of the area. Mane, who's not stopped running all day. And the ball comes in. The shot got in. Oh, I thought he'd gone in the net from Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. It was like 25 yards out. Got it under his left foot. And he was an inch away from winning it for Liverpool. De Gea didn't have a price. Did not have a price. It needed to be the inch or two more to the left, as we see a young lad, number 53 rather, Brandon Williams, a young product of the Manchester United Academy, been given a taste of this massive fixture by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But at the moment the wheels are falling off the United bus, and the wheels might fall off altogether. They might be back on the road here, because here comes Daniel James late on. James has crossed, deflated Manchester United corner. Trent Alexander-Arnold is furious now. We've played 2 of the 5 minutes. We've got 3 minutes to go. Pereira, I'm told, is going to be the man to come off. We're going to have a corner here. Oh, stay tuned, because we're not going after the final whistle. We want reaction from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and Jurgen Klopp. That didn't seem to be in the quadrant as that corner came in from Pereira. I'm certain that wasn't on the corner, on that left-hand corner quadrant. 2 minutes and 10 of the 5 left to play. Now, Young has had to be stopped. There was an offside decision anyway, so we're going to see another substitution here. So, Pereira coming off, and here is young Brandon Williams. What a way to make your debut. Well, Liverpool have really, they've shown some urgency. Maybe they've shown it a little bit too late, but still 2 minutes. If they could just do that. Now they've got about 90 seconds left to play. 90 seconds. If Liverpool can get another goal in that time, they will snatch victory from what was 4 or 5 minutes ago, an impending defeat. But even a point here today would not be a complete disaster. Yes, the 100% record would go, but it wouldn't go with defeat. It would go with a draw, which is not a bad result, because they move a fight further. There'll be more still well in front of Manchester City as things stand anyway. And we'll bring you the updated league tables as soon as we get them. We're hoping we'll hear from Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Hoping that we'll hear from 1 or 2 others at the end. But what a game it has been. Still we go on. What a fantastic finish we have on our hands here. The ball chipped in there. Alexander-Arnold having to bust a gut. We're now into the final minute of 5 here at Old Trafford. And, we've had a superb game. We've had a superb game. Yeah, it's taken a while for both halves to come to the boil, but we've had fun and games here today. More VAR controversy, but maybe in the end justice was done. Maybe a point apiece was justice enough, considering that Liverpool will feel hard done by that the goal. I mean, they will feel hard done by about the United goal. There was no complaints about the equaliser and the other VAR decision that chalked Liverpool's goal off. I don't think they could be. And here come Liverpool with Marnie on the far side, on the near side rather. There's still time left. We're into stoppage time now. Into stoppage time, and the ball comes across the appeal handball, I think. And the ball chipped towards the far side. It's still not away yet. With Manchester United now on the back foot, more or less, and now into time and on. Liverpool appealing handball. Now what's his hand? I tell you what, if that's the shoulder, that's a penalty. That's a penalty for me. I think that's a penalty here against Fred. His arm is out. His arm is out. That's a penalty. That should be a penalty for Liverpool. That is clear and obvious to me. Virgil van Dijk making the point now. Will this go to VAR? It has to go to VAR. That looked clear and obvious to me. That has to be a penalty kick. This has got to be a penalty kick. David Coote here should be making this decision. Is Martin Atkinson referring this? No, he's not. Well, I find that amazing. That looked a penalty to Liverpool, and I'm afraid to say that's more controversy. And we've had fun and games here. We've had a minute over the 5. The ball in towards the near post, headed away. The referee poised with his whistle. The header back in, and De Gea gets the ball, and there goes the whistle. Oh my goodness me, what a game. What fun and games here at Anfield today between Manchester United and Liverpool. And unfortunately, you're out of time with your Man in the Match award, but it's gone to Virgil van Dijk. But having said all that, what a game. Well, you can't say that these two, when they meet together, it's not a lethal cocktail, but it certainly was. And I'm afraid to say we're involved in more VAR debates once again. This will not be a topic of discussion that goes away. Liverpool get a point. They're 100% record goals, but not in defeat. They still, mind you, keep their unbeaten record. I think that's the only unbeaten record left in the Premier League anyway. So Jurgen Klopp will take some solace to the fact that they didn't lose the game. And I'm afraid they will be very hard done by. They should really be celebrating a victory possibly there, because that looked a clear as day a handball at the end. Liverpool now 6 points ahead of Manchester City. And they've played the same amount of games. Arsenal in 5th place. They play tomorrow, of course, against Sheffield United. A game you can hear live on the JV Clark YouTube channel. Jurgen Klopp begrudgingly shaking hands with some of the officials there. If I was Jurgen Klopp, I'd be absolutely seething right now, because I feel that they were unjustly done on 2 counts. The goal that was given to Manchester United when there was a clear foul in the build-up, and then a penalty that they should have had right at the end. And well, if it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter. It can touch the elbow and it's a penalty. I've seen penalties given for less than that, I have to be honest with you. And his arm is out, and whenever you run the risk, I wasn't trying to be biased towards against Manchester United there, but I felt that was a penalty to Liverpool. But you know, you win some, you lose some. Liverpool will not be too disappointed when they look back at it on the grand scheme of things, because yes, the 100% record had to go at some point. It's gone today. But their unbeaten record is still very much intact. Jurgen Klopp is all smiles at least. And, well, I don't think it's not a question of how hard the ball was hit. It's a question of distance. If it was hit 2 yards away, then I could understand it not being given, but it was still a fair length to go. So these are the results from the weekend. Everton 2, West Ham 0, Aston Villa 2, Brighton 1. What a finish that was. Bournemouth, Norwich, I said about that, the better, 0-0. Chelsea 1, Newcastle 0. Leicester controversially beating Burnley yesterday. Tottenham controversially denying Watford a win yesterday, 1-0. And Wolves, Southampton 1-1. And Manchester City winning 2-0 yesterday. So the top of the table is as follows. We'll agree to disagree on that, Greggy. But Liverpool top then with 6 points. They have 25 points. City 6 points further back on 19. They play the same amount of games. Arsenal could still move above Chelsea if they beat Sheffield United tomorrow. Manchester United stay 13th. And they have 2 points above the relegation zone after 9 games. Wow. Who'd have thought that at the start of the season? Hopefully we'll get some reaction from Jurgen Klopp. Let's see. I mean, it's a matter of a debate. I felt that was a penalty, but the first goal, the United goal, I felt should not have been allowed because it was a clear foul from behind. I think that's a given. I think also I think the other VAR decision that choked off Mane's goal at the end of the first half, I thought that was the correct decision because Mane has clearly used his hand in controlling the ball and then turning the ball into the back of the net. Then that's a fair decision. But I do honestly feel that Manchester United, I do think that the Manchester United, do think it was a handball against Manchester United, but it's a debate that's going to rumble on and rumble on. VAR, once again, I would dearly hoped we wouldn't have to see this ugly head reared again today at Old Trafford of all places, but unfortunately we might have to talk about that. We're hoping to hear from Messrs Klopp and Solskjaer in a few moments' time as we have it's been a remarkable game here on the JB Clark YouTube channel. It's the first time we've covered these two teams together at Old Trafford, and we weren't too disappointed in the end, as we're hoping to hear from some of the protagonists. Hopefully we'll hear one or two of the players. I can tell you that the man of the match award went to Virgil van Dijk. I'm just seeing on my monitor there, Robbie Blake scoring against Manchester United, one of the great goals I think I ever saw in my time as a Burnley fan. Well, VAR controversy will rumble on and on and on until the day we die, but I've got to be honest, it's one of those that you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. But this is what I think on the VAR debate. Now stay tuned because we're hoping to hear from the two managers before we leave you tonight. We're going to be on the air for another 15-20 minutes. But I want to just make this permanently clear about the VAR controversy, the VAR thing. I think VAR, if utilised properly, can be a good thing. I do believe that, and I do believe in that, and I think it's a belief. I'm still, it's an advocate. I was an advocate before yesterday. I'm not so sure now, all things considered. But then again, do you? It's all snakes and roundabouts now, isn't it? I mean, do you? So as I say, it's all snakes and roundabouts. But it's not the technology that annoys me. I think it's the people that are using it. I think they are jokes. I think you have to look at David Coote's performance as VAR man today. Was it the right decision? Was it the wrong decision? These decisions as well, and there are flaws in the system. Now, I've no problem with VAR being introduced if it's utilised properly. I think that's a given. I think if you utilise the system properly, then you can come to the right conclusions and you can come to the right decisions. I have no problems with that whatsoever. That I have not got a complete and utter problem with at this moment in time. The problem I've got is the people that are using it. I think it needs to be used properly. I think these people that use it, they are officials, they are referees in their own right, and I think you need retired. There has to be. I don't know. They should have given it a trial run, Nike. I think that's the first point that needs to be raised. I think they tried it in the FA Cup for a couple of years. They fought, even despite there was controversy in that as well, if you remember. So, I don't know. I think they should have tried it in the FA Cup for another year, then brought it in. But why can't the FA or the Professional Match Associations, or whatever they call themselves, or whatever perceived to call themselves? I'm not sure we're going to hear from Jurgen Klopp, incidentally. We're going to try and see if we can hear from Jurgen Klopp very shortly. But I honestly think, you see, when we did the World Cup a couple of years ago, and you look at VAR then, the reason why it was successful, the VAR stuff was successful in the World Cup back then, because FIFA knew how to utilise it properly. They utilised it right. They didn't go blasé or anything stupid like that. They knew how to get the best decisions and get it right. They had the right tools, in fairness, to do it. And this is where this is where it all comes down to. I think if you can get a different system utilised, I think if you get screens on the side of the pitch, that would eliminate all this nonsense that we're having to talk and debate about right now. I think if you cut out the rubbish that the pointless and utter debates that we're having now, that's what it needs to do. And I think we should adopt what UEFA and FIFA have done when they've trialled in the World Cup and the Champions League for the last couple of years respectively. I think if you can do that, then I think you've got a good chance. I think you've got a good chance of eliminating all this pointless, ridiculous debate, and that way you get a much better outcome of things. And also I'd like to see the big screen utilised, so the supporters who are paying the monies, they should be entitled to look at the big screen as well and have a look at these decisions and make their minds up, because I think they should be having an involvement as well. I think we should go down the rugby league route or the rugby union route or whatever it takes. I think you have to look at that. It doesn't matter who my man in the match is, it's your vote. If there's a clear winner after 90 minutes, I don't vote. I only vote, Russ, when I go to think. I couldn't honestly pick an outright winner. I'm just glad. I'm more interested in this VAR debate that we're having at the moment, because it needs to be said, because where do you go from here with this nonsense? I don't. The question is, I don't know. We just don't know. I just think the referees make the rod for their own back. I think that's plain to see. I think you can't. I don't think you can get away from that particular fact. I think we are struggling at the moment to try and see if we can raise Ole Gunnar Solskjaer or Jurgen Klopp at this rate. But we'll keep endeavouring to try that. It's been disappointing. It's been a disappointing day anyway. I don't think we're going to raise them, but I'm sure you'll be watching the interviews back on Sky Sports News. This is what Mike said about an hour ago on VAR. This is what Mike Harniman said. I'm sorry. I hope you don't mind me saying this, Mike. VAR is a joke. The referee and officials are taking the mickey now. I'm going to cut out the swear words. Favouring 70,000 home fans and the team with more history when it's a blatant foul on Origi. Goal should have been disallowed. Liverpool's goal was correctly disallowed too, but Mike makes this point here, and I think it's a good point here to remember. It shows too, though, that there's no consistency when the same should have happened in the Spurs game yesterday, but it gets given because they're at home and need a result to stop the rot. Should be 0-0 at the break, but United lead, and Klopp has every right to be angry with that one. And there's a lot of people that actually point that. I did speak to my brother off the air, and he said it was a perfectly legitimate foul, and I took him to task on that. I didn't think it was a foul. I didn't think it was a perfectly good tackle. If you tackle from behind under the rules of the game, then surely that must be a free kick. You know, I've been watching this game for 30 years. Have we missed something? I mean, I've been watching football for over 30 years. Have we missed something here? Have we? I don't know. I just, VAR will. I honestly thought we had the worst of it yesterday, but seemingly not. In one of the biggest games of the season, we've seen decisions like this. I mean, it has to be utilised properly. You know, you look at the money that's involved here for these teams that finish, for staying, if you're a team at the bottom end of the table, say if that was a game that was, say that was at the end of the season, the game at Leicester yesterday for Burnley, and they had to win that game or draw that game to stay up, and they lost it on the back of that decision, and it cost them so many X amount of pounds. It's just, I don't know. Russ asks, how would you sort VAR out? Well, simply, I mean, I don't think, Russ, it's the technology that's the problem. I think it's the people that are using it are the problem. I don't think you should leave it to referees at Stockley Park. I think you should move it. I think first of all, dump this Stockley Park rubbish. It has to be done at the ground. Secondly, I think they should adopt the FIFA system that was trialled and used correctly and used to great success in the last World Cup in Russia. And I honestly think that, well, the referee will refer to the VAR people. I think they were in a television truck for those games. Run to the screen, have a look at the incident themselves, and then make a decision based on what the VAR referee has said or is advising him to do and what he said. And then that way you come to the right decision. That way you stop a lot of arguments. And also, I'd add to that as well, get the people. I mean, okay, here at Old Trafford today, there's no big screen. I understand that. There's no reason why Old Trafford should not have a big screen in. Also, Liverpool should be making a case to have a big screen at their ground as well. They could stick one on top of the Anfield Road stand. I don't think that would be too much of a problem. But there has to be a big screen at every match now in the Premier League. I think that should be a requirement. And I think the people that are watching the game, just like they are in rugby league, I think that's what they should be doing. I think that's what they ought to be doing. And people have to find out for themselves. And if there are people that are blind or anything like that, they've got people that will see next to them, and they can relay to them what is happening on the big screen. So people will get to know one way or another. And then that way you cut out a lot of pointless twaddle about all this. There's a lot of pointless twaddle and debate. And this really, in a nutshell, can be sorted out. And it is really, really disappointing. You know, I shouldn't have to be spending a lot of airtime doing this. I could be doing better things right now instead of talking about it. But I think it needed to be discussed because we've had not one, not two, not three, but five even controversial uses of VAR this weekend. We've still got one game to come tomorrow at Bramall Lane, and you just think, right, we all want a VAR, right? We all wanted, but we want. I think we can all agree that the technology itself is not the problem. I think we can all agree on that. I think what needs to be done, it needs to be utilised properly. I think, as I said, use the FIFA or UEFA system where there's a screen on the side, and there are screens based around most of the grounds now. You see them at Villa Park, you see them at Turf Moor, you see them. I think I've seen one at Goodison Park already this season when I've been watching an Everton match. You know, you've got to. These referees need to start using this properly. They're not good enough, and yet, I think a 2 review system might be a good idea. You know, 2 or 3 reviews. I mean, tennis is another prime example. When they get 3 challenges, I think it's every set. I think, isn't it? You know, they use that in tennis as well. You know, you see Wimbledon, they challenge. I think they have 3 challenges per set. I think and if it doesn't come off, they don't argue the decision. I think football has lost its way in the way that it's controlling and governing the game, and there has to be debates here. There has to be a middle ground in all due respect. I think you've got to look at it from that point of view. I think if you've got to utilise the system properly, I think that's a given. I think if you look at the way football is now at this moment in time, you've just got to look at it now and really see that. I'm going to put the radio on in my ear so I can also see if we can hear, and we might still be able to hear. What's going on here with the interviews. I'm hoping to get an interview sooner rather than later with one of the managers, hopefully Jurgen Klopp. But as I say, I mean, let's look at it objectively. I mean, it's a point at the end of the day. I think that's I think that's a goal at the end. I think that's a given at the end of the day. But yeah, Mike goes on to say the only thing that with that is the standards official. If you give them 2 or 3 reviews, there'll still be large proportions of incorrect decisions. Maybe, but at least they'll be able to accept them then, Mike, at the end of the day. I mean, it's a debate that could rumble on and rumble on and rumble on all evening, but I'm really sad in a way that that this match is going to be talked about for VAR, not for the commitment and the intensity of 2 Northwest rivals slugging it out here at Old Trafford today, and that I don't think is right. I think there's got to be some scope for all this. I really do, and I really do believe that. And the sooner that we get, I honestly think we've got to go down the FIFA route. But I think that's probably going to be the end of our lot, I'm afraid, tonight. But well, VAR will rumble on, and hope you can join me tomorrow night. I'll be in the presenter's chair, and I'll announce who the commentator might be. Will it be Russ? Will it be Mike? Who knows? One of them will be making their way to Sheffield. You'll have to find out tomorrow to see what happens there. But one thing is for certain, Sheffield United and Arsenal will be live on the JB Clark YouTube channel regardless. I hope you can join me at around about 20 to 8, where in our build-up, we'll probably talk a bit more about VAR, and hopefully we'll have a VAR game as well, a VAR-free game, hopefully, and we'll see 2 decent sides slugging it out. Remember the last meeting between the 2 sides, Sheffield United and Arsenal? 2007? 2006-07? Yes, it was the time when Bill Jagielka had to go in goal. And played in goal for over an hour. I think Sheffield United had a man sent off. It was Paddy Kenny who got sent off or got injured or something like that. And Bill Jagielka went in there and played a blinder in goal. A terrific game it was. I'm talking about Premier League for me. And Sheffield United won a famous victory 1-0. That was the last Premier League meeting between the 2 at Bramall Lane. Hopefully we'll have something as similar as that tomorrow. But one thing's for sure. Liverpool keep their unbeaten record, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, I'm afraid the bus has taken a little bit of a wrong turning after it was going in the right direction at half-time. It took a wrong direction with 5 minutes to go, and they almost veered off a ravine when Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain came so close for that game. Thank you to Russ, thank you to Mike, thank you to Sue, thank you to everybody else, absolutely anonymous, thank you to everyone else. I'll give a shout out to Luke Caton, who was at the game today. I'll be looking forward to hearing his comments on the commentary later on. But thank you very much indeed for listening and for tuning in. Hope you can all join us for tomorrow. Don't forget, we're doing a FIFA 20 series called The Premiership. We're reviving an old ITV series from years gone by. We're reviving that one. Check out episode 1. I'm now going to spend most of my Sunday night doing episode 2 and playing the games and then starting to edit it all together. It's going to be a 2-day job. Hopefully we'll have that up and running by Wednesday. But thank you very much again. We'll be back live tomorrow with another game live coming to you from Bramall Lane, and then I think then there's a Champions League match, I think, and then that'll be it for at least a week and a half before we get another opportunity to cover football again, but live football again. But have a fantastic rest of your Sunday night, and we'll do it all over again at about. Are we going to do the Stevenage Burger King challenge? No, I'm not. I need to lose weight, not put it off. Anyway, as I say, join us again tomorrow evening for the Sheffield United Arsenal game. Should be a crackeroonie, that one for your Monday night, and got to be a damn sight better than Coronation Street at the moment, hasn't it? But here at Old Trafford today, VAR controversy again rears its head again. It's almost as big a topic as Brexit. It finished 1-1 today between 2 great rivals. United still 2 points off relegation. Liverpool 6 points clear. They may have lost their 100% record, still an unbeaten record. But the good news for them, they're 6 points clear of Manchester City at the moment. But there's still a long way to go in the season. But today, there's been 2 topics. But today there's been 2 topics of conversation: Brexit and VAR. But I think VAR is the dominant topic right now. I know, I'm sorry, but I wanted to use that in my closing speech. Who needs Brexit debate when you've got a VAR debate? It's finished 1-1 here. Hope you've enjoyed the coverage. From me, JB, till tomorrow. Good night.